Hi, this is Sebastian from Arturia. I'm here at the Noisy NAMM 2019 to introduce the MicroFreak. It's a new synthesizer for us. And coming from the brute range of the mini brute, micro brute, this is kind of a step in a different direction. Where in the brute range, we're really focused on a fully analog signal path. This one is more of a bridge between digital and analog. So the oscillator is a digital oscillator. And it's a multi-mode oscillator, meaning you have a type control that you can use to select an oscillator type. We're going to provide 11 at the start and probably more to come. And once you've selected a type, you get 3 knobs to control the sound of the oscillator depending on the mode. So for FM, it's going to be like the ratio, the amount, and the feedback. We're doing like a super wave where you have the tune amount, the waveform selection, and then the volume of the copy. So each mode gets its own control depending on the mode. Analog filter, it's a state variable filter, 12 dB per octave. It's got 3 modes, low pass, band pass, and high pass. And it's a rather clean, a bit liquid filter, which is nice because the sound of the oscillator really goes through, which is interesting with complex oscillator modes. In terms of modulation, we have a classic ADSR envelope, a cycling envelope, which can be either IDSR or a attack, hold, decay, loopable envelope. And the rise and fall times have curvature control, so you can be exponential, linear, or logarithmic, all continuous. LFO, classic LFO with waveform selection and a tempo sync. There's a modulation matrix, a bit of the same logic we use on the matrix brute of having graphical representation of the matrix. We did that again, which is nice because you get a quick overview of what is connected to what. So we don't have push buttons like we did on the matrix brute. Here you need to navigate with a knob, select a routing, and then set the amount. Moving on, at the bottom we have a touch plate, a PCB keyboard. It has pressure or velocity sensitivity. You choose per preset which one you want. And it's pretty nice. The feel is quite good, the velocity is quite responsive, and the aftertouch can be polyphonic aftertouch. So it's a paraphonic synthesizer. You have 4 voices of oscillator generation going in through the same filter, and the parameters of the oscillator can be modulated with polyphonic aftertouch, so individually for each voice. There's also a step sequencer and an arpeggiator. So the arpeggiator has up, down, random mode, and also a mode that I call pattern. And the way it works is that you press a number of notes, and it will generate a random pattern using the notes that you pressed, but in a random way. So, for instance, if I want to have a pattern in A minor, I just press the 3 keys, it's going to generate something, and if I don't like the sound, I just press the same keys again, it's going to generate a new sequence. There are 2 buttons here called Spice and Dice, and it's a bit of an unusual feature. The idea was to generate some random gate sequence. So the way it works, it's either for the sequencer or the arpeggiator, is you go from just regular length notes, so 50% or something, and Spice is a way to move away from this default note length, so you can make them shorter or longer. They can get short enough so that they just get silenced, or long enough so that they tie with the next step. So, and this is going to be randomized, and the dice is a way to reshuffle the gate length sequence. So if you have something you don't like, or you have silencing where you don't want, just press the touch strip again to generate a new sequence of random gates. CV and gate connectivity at the back to send CV gate and pressure outputs. And I think that covers it up. There's going to be 128 presets, factory presets, and either 64 or 128, still to decide user slots. So this is MicroFreak. We're starting production. Firmware is going to be finished pretty soon, and the hardware is finished. Some units are probably going to be delivered around March and probably until May to get the full delivery, well, to ramp up the production. And the price is going to be €299, $299. So this is it, MicroFreak, NAMM 2019. I'm Sebastian. Cheers.